The You Better Say That talk show will be hosting veterans. We are approaching Veterans Day on November the 11th, and we have veterans coming to celebrate with us, and we want them to share their story. We're going to have Army men, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, hey, National Guard, hey, whatever. We want the veterans to know that we appreciate them, we salute them, and we thank them for their service. So this is what I need for you to do. I need for you to stay tuned to the You Better Say That talk show on tomorrow and watch to see and hear what they have to say. So guess what? I'll see you there. Thank you. Hello, welcome to the You Better Say That talk show. I am your host, Florence, and we have a treat for you today. Listen, Veterans Day is approaching. It's almost here. And we want to make sure that we take the time to celebrate and appreciate our veterans. Today, I have with me my husband, my boo, amen, the veteran, Chief Apostle Eugene Florence. Thank you for coming, honey.
Good to be here.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I know that you're a veteran, and I wanted to take the time to share, well, I want you to share with the world about your journey in the military. So he is my first guest to talk about his military experience and what he's experienced in the military, his journey in the military, and just share with us his experience with the military. So first of all, tell me, why the military?
All of my life, when I can remember back to the age of 15, I've always wanted to be a part of the military to serve my country. That's always been in my heart to do. And so I followed that path, of course. And but I had some resistance coming up 15 on up to 18, of course. But the Lord did not allow me to be deterred, and He allowed me to continue to press my journey.
Okay.
I guess you can say press that direction so that I could go in the military. And I really had an awesome time. I had challenges just like anybody,
right,
of course. But I got a chance as a young man to travel and to see the world. Basically, I started out at Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Okay, Fort Knox.
Yes, the home of the U.S. Gold Bullion Depository.
Okay.
And we started out there for my basic training and AIT, which means Advanced Individual Training. And upon completing that, which I had a lot of challenging drill sergeants there.
Of course, I think everybody have challenging drill sergeants,
yes,
right?
Yes, we had a couple of particular drill sergeants that really, I believe, impacted my life. Okay,
in a positive way.
In a positive way, because they tried to instill within us the discipline and the trying to develop your mind to the point to where you know what you want to do in life, and you know what direction you want to go in, so to speak. So as a young man going in at the age of 18 years old, of course, you needed that.
Yes.
It really, really meant a lot. And then, of course, from Fort Knox, Kentucky, I came home for a little brief period of time, did hometown recruiting.
Okay.
Trying to get other people into the military.
Okay, right. How was that? I mean, did you enjoy recruiting?
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
It was challenging because you couldn't get nobody. By you being new, you didn't really have a lot of stories that could really convince them, so to speak. So it was somewhat of a challenge.
Right.
But I just requested to go on to my duty station. So they sent me to Bamberg, Germany. I got a chance to go serve in the FRD, Federal Republic of Germany, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it over there. I was in 2nd Squadron, 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment.
Wow, I hear you talk about that all the time.
Yes.
And your experience in Germany. I remember he talks about Germany. He can even speak a little German. Why don't you speak a little Germany for them?
Entschuldigen Sie bitte, ich haben Sie eine Cola? Ich weiß nicht.
And what was that?
Excuse me, please. How are you, or something to that degree.
Okay. So then, your experience in the military, took you to places that you probably would have never gone on your own.
That's true.
And not only that, but you learned a different language.
Yes.
Yes.
Learned a little bit.
A little bit of a different language. That's unusual because everybody normally don't do that.
Yeah.
So how long were you in the Army? Because you was in the branch of the Army. Is that correct?
I spent 3 years in the regular Army, and then I spent my last 3 years in the Georgia National Guard.
Georgia National Guard.
In Noonan, Georgia, Detachment 1 Troop E, 348th Cav.
Okay.
That was
all right.
It was a split unit between Noonan, Georgia and Griffin, Georgia. And so I served my last 3 years there. So I enjoyed the military there. While I was in Germany, I got an opportunity. I got chosen to work in Border Operations Center.
Okay. Okay.
And we had to patrol the east-west German border during that time. You know, the wall was up.
Sure.
And we had to patrol sectors 9 through 17, from Mullersworth all the way up to the Kronach tips in Germany. And I really enjoyed that, working in Border Operations Center. All we did basically monitor the different patrols that was out on the border.
Right.
And it was a blessing to me because I learned a lot, you know. And we dealt with other intelligence agencies, like the BGS, which is Bundesgrenzschutz.
Okay.
That's West German Federal Border Police. The BBP, which is the Bavarian Border Police.
Okay.
And other, the Hofheim-Eyes, and you know, all of that, military intelligence. So I enjoyed my journey there in Germany, and spent 18 months over there, a year and a half.
Year and a half.
And then I got stationed to the beautiful, sunny place called Fort Polk, Louisiana. We call Fort Swamp, Louisiana.
Is it a reason behind that?
It's way out in the swamp.
Out in the swamps.
Yes, and the nearest big town probably is Alexandria, Louisiana. They had DeRidder and other places near Leesville, but Leesville was a small town. So the biggest thing there was Fort Polk. And but I enjoyed it there, and got a chance to meet some good people.
Yes.
And people that, some of the people, matter of fact, a friend from Germany that we served together in the same unit is a truck driver. He owns his own truck there in Atlanta right now.
Okay.
And so me and him still converse with each other.
Okay.
So I enjoyed it.
Okay. So how did the military change your outlook on life after you left the military? What was the difference?
It, to me, I think it was one of the most impacting experiences that I've had in my life, because it transformed you from a young man that's really not accountable, I guess you could say, to a more disciplined and mature individual. Even though I think the route that we take, the path that we take getting there might be a little challenging sometimes.
Okay, I can imagine
with
so.
the drill sergeants and and all of the NCOs and officers that's over you, but you learn a lot, and you learn. It's just like people say, you take the good and the bad, and you just take what you can use for your life that will help you down the road, and you go on with that.
Very good.
So it was very impacting.
Very good. So Veterans Day is approaching, and when you hear people say, thank you for your service, thank you for your time served, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel appreciated, makes me feel like at least someone is reaching out to you in such a way to where they're helping you to reminisce back on your time in the military, and the fact that sacrifices that you made was worth it.
Okay. Oh, awesome, awesome. So you don't feel like what you did was in vain or unappreciated. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Very good. Well, you've heard it from the #1 Chief Apostle, Eugene Florence. Thank you for sharing your story with us. We appreciate you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Hello. Welcome to the You Better Say That talk show. If you know, the Veterans Day is approaching, and we are celebrating veterans all across the nation. Today I have with me one of my favorite guys, Coach Adam Massey. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for coming, Coach.
Hey, it's awesome. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're glad to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you. I called him early this morning. We talked like 6 o'clock this morning, and I asked Miss Kristen, hey, I need to talk to Coach. And so she told me that he was going to call me, and he did, and I'm so glad you did, and I'm so glad that you accepted my invitation to come.
Absolutely.
Awesome. We're here today to talk about his journey in the military. I didn't know that you were a military guy. You know, I had to send out some questions like, hey, I need a military guy. And Pam Forberry, my partner, she said, hey, Adam Massey. I was like, okay, he'll come. And so thank you again for coming. But let's talk about your military journey. Let's talk about, how, why the military? Why did you choose to go in the military? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I guess, I always joke and say a funny story is that I really didn't have a lot of people go to see the recruiters.
Yes.
Well, I'm the youngest of 5, and there's 4 boys, and 3 of us. My dad was in the National Guard for 36 years, and my oldest brother's still in. He's got, I guess, a little over, he's probably had 23, 24 years.
Wow.
And then my other brother, that's a year older than me, was in, he just finished 20 years and retired. So, needless to say, it was a given that you're going to do it. And my other brother probably, he would have a well, but he had open heart surgery as a kid, so therefore he couldn't do it. So,
Sure.
5 kids, and both parents are school teachers. So if you want to go to college, you better go let Uncle Sam handle the money side of it. So that's really and truly, I never really thought about it. It was just a given that it was going to happen.
Right. So your family, so you came from a military background, military family.
Absolutely.
Okay, that sounds good, because my dad did 22 years in the Army. And so some of my brothers follow suit, and then I have a niece that follows suit, so it kind of gets in that blood.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot, a lot of things you look back on in life, and a lot of it it's just kind of passed on from one generation to another.
Exactly. So tell us about your experience. So you was in the Army National Guard.
I was in the National Guard.
Okay, and then so tell us just a little bit about your experience in the military.
Well, I joined right out of high school. I guess I graduated in May of '98 and went to basic training in South Carolina.
Wow.
At Fort Jackson. So I was in a communications unit, which is about, I guess, like a civilian telephone company. So after basic training, I went to Fort Gordon, which is in Augusta, Georgia.
Okay, yes, my brother was there.
17 weeks for that training, and then from there came back and went to college there and was in, and then graduated college in 2002. Actually, I guess 2003, and then got married that summer, and I guess about that November found out that my unit was being activated.
Wow.
So we were married, me and Kristen were married for 6 months before I left to go to Iraq.
Wow. So you've been to Iraq?
Yeah, I've spent a good 345 days.
Ooh, that's a whole year, but almost a year.
It was my first year teaching at the middle school, so I taught for a couple months, and then when I was gone for, back then early on, this was the second year of the war. So early on, once you got activated in the Army, they just pretty much told you it'd be 12 to 18 months.
Wow.
So we were gone about 14 months total. So me and 2 of my brothers. So
at the same time?
At the same time, and my dad got sent to Virginia for a year. So it was four Masseys that were
holding
gone.
Up the country.
Holding up. Well, I don't know if you'd say holding up the country, but we were all gone at the same time.
Wow.
So,
wow. But serving.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So how did the military change your outlook on life?
I would say a lot. I still am. I'm a pretty kind of a reserved and quiet. So
yes, you are.
Getting out of your comfort zone to go off to be around people that I'd never been around before.
Yes.
Makes you step out a little bit.
Yes, it does. Get you out of your comfort zone.
Get you out of it a little bit.
The box.
And I was definitely out of the box there. And so but just getting a chance to be around people from all around the country and all walks of life.
That's it.
There, and obviously playing sports growing up, you get that opportunity, but being in a room with 8 of them, for 10 weeks or 17 weeks, you know, they're family then.
You're right,
you know.
exactly.
So,
It takes some getting used to, but you made that transition and you were able to function and do your job.
I tell you what,
and carry out.
it is, and it's the beauty of life. You got people of different socioeconomics. You know,
Yep.
you got people of different, you know, ethnicities.
Right,
you know,
right.
everything.
Race, faith, faith,
all of that
religion,
in there,
that's
and
it.
so it's the beauty of that is you got to stick together. You got to learn how to work together,
Yeah.
which is obviously, you know, transitions right
Wow.
to life. You know, the
yes.
workplace and everything else to this world. So it was a neat experience, teaching discipline and everything else. So if I had to do it all over again, I'd
Be
do
ready
it.
to roll.
I'd do it all over. I'd do the
You
same
know,
thing.
I was going to ask that question. If you had the opportunity to go into the military and just do that all over again, would you? So I already got the answer.
I absolutely would.
Wow.
I wouldn't change anything.
That's all right. So you don't have a son. You have 2 daughters.
I got 2 daughters.
You have 2. Well, Zach is your son.
I got a bunch of football players
Yes,
and
you do.
tennis players that are sons, but besides that, no, at the house, it's just
You
just
the
2
only, you're
girls.
holding it down.
Holding it down.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
ma'am.
So do you think one of them will go in?
I doubt it.
You doubt it.
No, I don't.
You
I don't
won't
know.
let them with them.
I don't know. You know, we always joke growing up,
Mhm.
you know, because I got one sister.
Okay.
And
yes.
it was, my dad is, military was off limits, you know.
Yes.
She
yes,
was not
yes,
gonna go,
yes.
you know.
Yes.
And so I can see just, you know, from going through basic training and going through all of the service and obviously being gone
Yes, yes.
there. And the blessing for me and Kristen were, I mean, we didn't have any children at that time. So
Yes, that was easier.
you know, my oldest brother did, and actually my brother Joe had one as well. So that's, you know, having smaller kids. Well, actually,
hard.
Joe didn't have any kids yet, but that's something that makes it a lot tougher.
It does when you have kids, and then especially if they travel with you, moving, or it's even harder if you have kids and family, then you have to leave them for a long period of time. So I'm sure that was an adjustment too, for those that who had to do
Yeah,
it.
that
you know,
was.
so,
I had a
yeah.
really good friend, and the neat thing about the National Guard is pretty much, it's going to be a lot of people from your community
Yes.
that you're serving with.
Yes.
So I
that
had
helps.
3 or 4 guys I graduated high school with, and 2 of my brothers, and so it was.
Good.
I mean, we had several dads and sons.
Oh, wow,
So
wow.
it was that makes the National Guard a little different, just because it's a little tighter knit group, and
Yes.
you have some older gentlemen, which you normally don't have in the regular army.
Okay.
So you have some older guys that can really be some father figures
Yes,
for the younger
yes,
guys.
yes, be some
in the
mentors.
service. Absolutely.
Exactly. So how did it make you feel to know that you were serving your country?
Well, you know, at first, I mean, just being honest with you, Miss Alzada, I never really probably thought in a million years that, you know, I would have ever been actually, you know, in a war zone.
Oh, wow.
You know, I guess you sign up with the National Guard, and you're kind of thinking, you know, a little different mindset, maybe hurricanes, things like that,
Yeah,
you're going to
right,
be called
yeah.
for, but obviously with the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, it's, you know, the need for everybody,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and so
Oh my goodness.
that, you know,
So you
just-
did real combat.
yeah, we were over there, and I know you're a woman of faith, and
Yes.
so I was stationed at Camp Babylon. So we stayed in one of Saddam Hussein's palaces that overlooked the ruins from Nebuchadnezzar. So they were on the bottom. So we had an Easter sunrise service over that. So
Wow.
the
powerful.
just the you know the Christian faith and knowing that right there where we were at was not too far where
Wow.
Daniel and the lions, all of
was-
that.
oh my
was,
goodness,
was,
that
was,
take place.
was
It took
right
place.
there, and so
Wow.
I told everybody it was awesome to see for a day. After a day, I was ready to come back home, but we
No
didn't
doubt about
we didn't
it.
get that. We didn't get that luxury.
I know
So,
you didn't. Oh my
but
goodness.
you know that I guess just knowing what you're doing, and the southern part of Iraq was man, the poverty there, and those are the ones that were I guess living under Saddam's regime. Those are the ones that were being abused, and so just to see man, to see the suffering and see those kids
Mm-hmm.
have nothing, you know, it makes you,
heart-wrenching.
it makes you look at it and realize, you know what, we're here for a greater cause.
Exactly, and that that we're blessed and that we're fortunate. But then, we should always appreciate what we have.
Absolutely.
And our freedom, because everybody don't live like we do.
Hey.
And we see that when you go to other countries, the remote places and places that's in poverty, as you said, and it makes you really come back home and really appreciate. And I think some people need to go to Iraq, need to go to some of these remote places, so that when they come back, they can truly appreciate what we have here.
I 100%. I tell the kids at school all the time, if they ever get the opportunity to go to a third world country,
They need to go.
they need to go.
That's right.
We're a wealthy nation.
Yes, we are.
And we don't have a lot of us have never had a whole lot of opportunities to serve other people. We've always got people taking care of us, whether it's the government or whether it's other people, whatever it might be.
Yes.
But to see that was a game changer, perspective-wise, to come back and to appreciate simple things of
in life.
I was talking to Kristen one day. I'd always wake up and call. I guess about 6 o'clock over there was about 9 o'clock back here. So, one time I said I just want to hear a toilet flush.
Oh.
It's been about 6 months since I heard a toilet flush.
Oh my
so
goodness.
you think the simple things of life,
you take for granted.
You take for granted.
Oh
so,
my goodness.
But no, it was something that obviously looking back on was a great experience. And something that not only changed my perspective, but obviously strengthened, my faith. And all of that is, you don't really see it while you're in it, but when you look back on it, man, a whole lot of appreciation for it, and we had, I guess, over 700 guys in our battalion.
Wow.
And, all of them came home, so that
praise God.
that is something you look
That's
back
something. And appreciate.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, I tell you what, thank you so much for your service. Thank you. You have a powerful story, as well as my husband. He has a powerful story. He talks about it all the time, and I want you to know that we appreciate your service. We thank you for your sacrifice. We thank you for the time that you spent there, doing what you do, serving the country, making a difference. So I say again, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's Veterans Day, it's approaching, and we want to thank all our veterans for your service. God bless you.